did the first page in this new sketchbooky thing that I made. Started right in the middle. This was like a draw this in your style still life thing, and it's not bad. It's frustrating like a cheap watercolor paper anyway, because you can't really build up darks that much. This is kind of as dark as I got it, and that's sort of pencil crayon assisted actually, and it helps a lot to be able to bump up the contrast by adding a white pencil crayon. So yeah, I think this is going to be a decent one. I've been really like not wanting to start drawing in this for some reason. Oh, the pen spread. I think because I'm so focused on getting like, oh, I should make some nicer sketches to mail out to patrons. I did the artichoke one. I like a lot. I figure, oh, as soon as I get my quota, I'll start doing stuff in there, because I don't really want to tear up this one as much. But I just have not been reaching the quota. John's Union had a surplus of tablets, and they were like, does anybody want a free tablet? I would love to try drawing digitally with a screen. This came in, and it doesn't come with a pen or anything, but I've been looking it up, and it appears that there are no pens for this. This is the Lenovo FHD, like an M10 FHD Plus. You can type on it. This would be really fun, I guess, if you were a novelist. Google Keep app is kind of fun, though. I like this highlighter layer. It's kind of pretty. At least this pen does stuff. I already have an update on this. I made a thing. My sister says that she just uses her finger to draw, which I am very impressed with because she's quite good. It actually sort of does a kind of pen pressure effect no matter what anyway. Now that I'm actually like using a proper painting program, this is Ibis Paint. So this actually works okay for me. I find this really like a lot easier than just using the Graphire, because I can actually get my line in the right place, you know, the first time I do it, instead of trying to guess where I am on the screen all the time, and I can actually move things around. So this is actually workable for me. I'm not good at digital art, but at least it's manageable. I recently went to this little shop in Vancouver which resells like leftover bits of things for people to, you know, scrapbook and make mixed media art stuff out of. And they have these paper bags that you can just pay a flat rate for, and you fill it to the brim. And I was definitely a little bit too conservative in my selectings. I could have definitely smashed more things in it. I really love this paper. It's so pretty. Got a bunch of ribbons that I'll use in packaging stuff. I also have this interesting transfer foil. I think you just put it on something that's sticky, like half-dry glue or something, and then you can transfer this whole image, if you wanted to an art journal or something. They have lots of pages from encyclopedias and things. Here's some maps that someone has already colored in. I thought that looked kind of neat. Tissue paper, a random stamp thing. There's some old photographs. I wouldn't mind using landscapey or cityscape kind of images. There's also some slide film. I picked them randomly, but here's one from a grave for some reason. Some paper tickets, some pages cut out of old, art books or whatever. I thought these were kind of pretty. I have these weird dyed feathers. They're very soft. I don't know what I would do with these, but I'll probably just put them into the, ephemera packets. Some more encyclopedia pages. I got more of these wood veneer sheets. I got this embossed paper and some sheet music. The sign said to be careful with the sheet music, which I thought was kind of funny because it's like, aren't you selling this so that we, use it and cut it up? And got some old braille sheets. There's envelopes. And more of these foil transfer sheets in different colors. I thought these were super cute. I made sure to get enough so I can send one to all of my patrons on February 1st. They're just like little patches. Dogs or sheep or something. Probably dogs. They had a little jar of marbles, so I took some of those, and buttons because they fit in the bag. And that's what I took. Lots of things are going on. Some good news and bad news. Good news is I think my gecko painting has won an award. The bad news is every time you have to schedule an in-person, like on-camera interview, which is my nightmare. Yes, hello. I also took the Before the Storm painting to the Tim's Community Center in Langley. It's kind of this last minute showing that's going on there. So that's cool. I guess that's a couple of pieces that are out in the world. It's right across the street from the Opus art supply store, and so I got to stock up on my papers and paints. Really boring, really expensive stuff, so it's not like that fun. It's a very small haul. They were also out of stock of the Payne's Gray core that I love. I was just concerned about mixing brands. They have some kind of unique binding system in their paints. I wasn't sure if I could just use it with something like Daniel Smith or Winsor & Newton. Today I learned that brands can call something a specific color, like Payne's Gray. They're so different. I tried to add some grays and some reds to this Winsor & Newton one to imitate the core version of Payne's Gray, but I wasn't really super successful. It's just so handy. It's such a dark, deep color, but it's also like a really beautiful neutral tone. I'm also going to go to the dentist for the first time in many years, and I'm terrified. I'm so scared of dentists. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. This month is going to be a rough month. I'm not looking forward to it. I know it's too early, but I have been sort of doing some framing stuff just because I'm a very visual person and I like to be able to see what I have for the upcoming, that guy show. I have a couple of pieces left over here. I only have 2 of these huge ones, and this is kind of all I have for frames. I used to have so many, really embracing the wrapped canvas thing going on. I mean, yeah, you have to be kind of careful with them, especially when I do the paper toll thing. But you have to be careful with art anyway, even if it was an oil painting. I'm definitely using these, even though they don't have the cat in them. These could be significant characters or that he meets on his journeys that teaches him something, right? Some of my paintings are so old in anticipation of this goal that they're kind of like, do I even want to hang this? Just because it fulfills a thing, like it's not really that good. I'm putting everything on the wall so I can kind of get a visual representation of how much surface area I can fill. And also it means I don't have to like scramble at the very end, which I'm going to have to do anyway because I don't have a car. I don't know too many people with a car who would be available on a Thursday or Tuesday or whatever, so the biggest hurdle is going to be how do I even get it there? And I think it will just be many trips. sure like the bag, huh?